guys, it's Jo, and I'm here today at the Senior Center here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I'm going to do a very short video today, just showing you a few exercises that you can do at home with your roller. Now, hopefully lots of you guys already have a foam roller at home, and if you don't, they're easy to get online, they're not expensive, and it is truly one of the most important pieces of in-home exercise equipment you can have. I know you probably bought a lot of stuff this month. so 6 months from now, when we move through our in-home sheltering, you will still be using this, I promise. So it's a good investment. So anyway, foam roller, and you can buy one. There's varying degrees of firmness, and ideally about a medium firmness is just about right. If you get a roller that's too squishy, it doesn't quite feel good. And that'll make sense when we start to do the exercises in just a minute. If you get one that's too firm, then it can actually create more pain and irritation in the nerves. So again, kind of medium firmness is just about appropriate for everybody. Now, what is this and why would we do this? The roller allows us to do what we call self-myofascial release, and there's two ways to get myofascial release. One way is through deep tissue massage, and then the other way is when you do it yourself, you can apply firm pressure across the muscles, and that will create more elasticity in the fascia, and also it also increases the health of the joints, because if you have connective tissue that is less rigid and more elastic, and the nerves have calmed down, then that feels better around the joints. The fascia is the connective tissue. It actually encapsulates the muscles, it's around the joints, it's underneath the skin. And the big deal about that is there's a lot of nerves in the fascia. In the field of exercise science, it's a big hot topic right now. How do you increase the health of the fascia? So go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to show you a few really basic myofascial releases. And they're great because you can do them at home, and I recommend at least once a day. You can use it for a warm-up before you head out to do your activities for the rest of the day. Or you can use it at night for a cool down, say you've had a busy day and the muscles feel really tight. Either way, just a consistent kind of a daily little program of doing just a few releases makes a huge difference, especially if you have injuries, either old injuries, new injuries, even if you have hardware in your joints, in other words, you've got replacements, still so important to work the fascia above and below and around those joints. So we start with the legs. So come down to the mat or your living room floor. And we're going to start with the quads. And the quads are very large muscles, super dense, super tight. And they really affect the knee joints and the hips. And in the hips, in turn, affect your low back. So we tend to drive with these quadriceps all day long during our activities. So they're going to be tight, and you're going to feel it in just a second. So lie on the roller. I haven't done this in a while. So find a comfortable position. You're supported on your elbows. Make sure your low back feels okay. And my feet are about hip width apart. And right away, you're going to feel some really intense pressure into kind of the heart of the muscle right there on those quadriceps. And what we're going to do, we're going to start to roll. And you just rock back and forth. When we do our myofascial release exercises, and this is our first one, we don't want to create more tension in the body. And again, I keep saying this, the last thing we need right now is more tension. So let the shoulders be relaxed, and you just rock back and forth, make sure your low back feels okay, and say hello to your quadriceps. Just roll all the way up to the crease that connects the hip and the thigh, and then roll down, and it's going to get more sensitive right there, right above the knee joint. And you don't really want to roll over the joint itself. You just are getting into the larger muscles in the thighs right now. And I think you're probably going to feel this. So keep going. And we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this, just a few little repetitions back and forth, covering the entire length of the thigh muscle right there. Now roll to the center. Now pause here. Now push the thigh down actively. Do you guys feel that? It's pretty intense. Whenever we're using the roller, we want to go to kind of that hurt so good feeling and don't go beyond that. If you're starting to feel really more pain, then it's a little too much, or you might have scar tissue in that area or an injury. So kind of judge where you need to be. Now let's do 4 more, and go down into the tops of the knees. 2, let's do that 2 more times. 3 and 4. Okay, so we got the quads. Now we're going to roll over and just make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you supported yourself. Bring 1 foot forward, and it doesn't matter which side you're on. So I've got my 1 foot forward, my hips are comfortable. Again, I'm not creating any tension in any other places in the body. I'm comfortable, I'm relaxed, and then I'm going to roll those IT bands. Your IT bands, the fascia bands, runs right across the side of the thigh here, and it's going to be super tight, especially if you run or if you walk a lot or hike or ski. So we're going to start, and you're lying on the roller, and there is your IT band. Do you guys feel that? It's right on the side of the thigh, and the closer you get to the knee, the more intense it's going to be. And when you hit a point where it literally kind of takes your breath away, like for me it's right there, we call that a trigger point. And again, that's just an area of extreme tightness or maybe an old injury or scar tissue. So we go to where it hurts so good, but don't push beyond that. And you can also control the pressure. Like right now, I'm really feeling that IT band, but you know, I can handle it. It's not excruciating. But if it was too much, I can actually lift my hip up a little bit and take some of my weight off of it. So do you guys feel that? We're going to do 4 more, and 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to walk a little bit or crawl my hands a little bit so I can get a little closer to right above my knee right there. Hold, and then go all the way back down and do that 1 more time. So again, you're just gliding over the roller and then come all the way back. So we're going to stay on that same side. I'm going to take my front leg back, turn over, and now I'm just sitting. I'm kind of parked on the roller. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm on spider fingers. Legs are relaxed. And this position actually feels quite good. No stress in the back. Hips are loose. My front foot, the IT band, and the quad that we just did. My front foot right here, I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm going to roll just right across the glute, the big muscle, right on the sitting bone. And this actually feels really good. Not a lot of pressure, not super tight right there, not those trigger points that you might have been getting on the quadriceps or the IT band. So just kind of relax into it a little bit. And I'm kind of dragging that front heel back and forth. And again, usually this feels pretty good. This is really beneficial if you've got SI joint issues, if you have sciatic, any low back pain, or bursitis on the hip. There's all kinds of issues that we can have in this area. So this just applies the pressure there and just releases the tension. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. 1 and 2. Come off the roller. Flip around. Let's get that IT band on the second side. And again, just get comfortable so that you can relax your shoulders. Bring 1 foot forward if you like, and you're just going to glide back and forth. I'm actually going to push my roller a little further down. Oh yeah. So how are we doing? Do you guys feel this? Surely you do. And if you've never used a roller before, it'll take your breath away. It is the equivalent of doing a deep tissue massage. You're really, really getting into those tight spots, those trigger points. But just try to relax a little bit. Relax your face and feel that IT band. And you'll notice too that one side will probably feel different than the other side, because usually we're not symmetrical. Okay, let's do 3 more, and 1, 2. Okay, on this third one, let's kind of go for it. Roll towards the edge of the mat, the body's upright now. Push down. Feel that, hold, breathe. Make sure you don't hold your breath. Then glide back, flip over, do that second glute. So again, we're kind of just parked on the roller, and turn, you want to kind of turn the hips a little bit towards this outside leg here. Elbows are bent, shoulders relaxed, no tension in the neck, and just press. And really push that glute down into the rollers, right on the sitting bone. And for a lot of us, we kind of go, I don't really feel anything there. And that's good. That means things are relatively elastic in that area. But again, if you're prone to sciatic or bursitis, or for those of us who might have, say, the beginnings of stenosis or full-on stenosis in the low back, this is really, really beneficial because it just relaxes the muscle tension in this area. And you can go fast or you can go slow. Everybody has different trigger points, and what feels okay for me or intensely painful for me might be different for you. So just kind of play with it. Then do 2 more. 1 and 2, and then come off. And then real quick, we've got just about 3 more exercises, then we're done. Pause here and notice you actually feel kind of tingling when you stop and a little bit relaxed. That's because we've gotten into all those nerves in the connective tissue. So it has a very relaxing effect. It feels like you've got less tension in the hips and thighs area. So the next move, and this one's a little harder to get at. If you have really tight adductors in your thighs, or if you have had a groin injury or you pull an inner thigh muscle, you know how hard it is to get that to heal. So one way to access that area is you've got to apply your own pressure and just take one leg straight and bend the other leg, and you can kind of just push. Go back and forth. And again, it's a little harder to feel the intensity here because you have to apply the pressure with your upper body. And I'm actually pushing, oh, there we go. I'm pushing with my upper body strength down on the roller and forward. It's like you're kneading dough or you've got a rolling pin. And I've literally used a rolling pin on a client before. So it does work. It's that same action, like you're rolling out dough, except it happens to be your tight inner thighs. Do 2 more, and 1, and 2. Oh, right there, hold. Do you guys feel that? And release. Second side. Bend the leg, one leg is straight, relax a little bit, and then apply pressure down first, and then again, just push back and forth. And I'm gonna lean my upper body a little bit into it, because that way I can get a little bit more pressure. If I don't push with my upper body strength, it just feels like I'm kind of just rolling the pin back and forth, or the foam roller rather. But if I put my strength into it, I can really get into those tighter inner thighs. And just a few more. And what I notice personally as I get closer towards the knee joint, that inside inner thigh area is really, really tight. Should always be kind of you're at the hurt so good point, not beyond that. Do 3 more, and that's why we don't use this on the joint itself, because that can actually create quite a bit of pain. pain. And one, and roll her down. Take your legs out, walk it out a little bit. Notice the legs feel a little heavier. 2 more exercises and we'll be done. This one feels really good. We're gonna get right on those shoulder blades. Have the roller right on the scapula bones, your shoulder blades. Feet apart, knees are bent towards the ceiling, fingertips on the back of your head, and then just kind of relax your head into the support of the hands. Again, no excess tension in the upper body. Lift up, and you're going to roll the roller back and forth across the shoulder blades. And notice I've lifted my hips. If you don't lift your hips, you're not going to get in the position where you need to be. So just go back, forth, and usually this feels really good. And this gets into those muscles between the shoulder blades, your scapula bones. Those muscles get really tight. And for some of us, they're actually fairly weak. We work a lot on those in our yoga classes. So again, it's just you're going to feel the muscles between the shoulder blades, and make sure you're covering the whole shoulder blade. I'm probably kind of rolling away from you here. Okay, now go to the top of the shoulder blades. Relax your head, you're looking up. Now go a little towards the base of the spine, and it's going to be really tight right there. The backs of the shoulders, right, kind of the base of the neck. It's going to be tight. And hold, hold. Now drop your hips, and then come up, roll those shoulders back, and just notice things feel a little less tight and tense up in that upper back area. One more exercise, then we'll be done. Turn your roller lengthwise, and then you're going to come on top and just lie fully supported, and this feels really good. Feet are apart, that way you're stable, knees towards the ceiling. Look at the ceiling, make sure your head is pressed firmly into the roller. Turn the palms out, elbows are bent, and you'll feel the imprint from your tailbone all the way up into the shoulder blades. It's as if the roller is imprinting in your spine, and your head is pressing firmly into the roller, so you have a very soft, very obvious curve in the back of the neck. If you put your fingers back there, it should feel soft at the back of the neck. Elbows to the side, pause here, and all you're going to do is you're going to rock back and forth a little bit. And this is pretty subtle, kind of like when we were on our glutes, or working on our glutes, sitting on the roller a few minutes ago. You don't get that, like, take your breath away kind of intensity. It's more of just feeling the muscles along the spinal column and on the sides of the spinal column just kind of relax a little bit. It really is like a massage. It's as if somebody's just putting their hands kind of firmly but gently down the length of the spine. And make sure you have the curve in the lumbar back. Now roll the shoulders, so you're just rocking back and forth a little bit. And again, it just kind of digs into the area along the spine. Gets into the smaller muscles. And really roll those shoulders. As I'm doing this, I can feel the roller right between the 2 shoulder blades. And as I shift my shoulders side to side, it actually goes up onto the bone a little bit. It actually feels really good. And then come back to center. Pause here. One more move. And this is really, really good for when you have neck issues or shoulder issues. Press your head firmly into the roller. You're looking at the ceiling. Now be very still. Make sure you're on here. And you're going to keep that pressure on the back of the head, curve in the back of the neck, and you're going to roll your head and look to the right. And hold here, and what you're going to feel is your left shoulder, you're going to feel the tightness from kind of the inner top of your left shoulder up through the neck. You've turned your head to the right. Now take your left shoulder back more, and there's all kinds of little tight spots, or sometimes big tight spots, especially if you've had a neck injury before. Now roll your head up to center again. Now make sure again you're pressing firmly with the back of the head, but no pain. Don't flatten the curve in the back of the neck. Look at the ceiling. Now roll your head slowly to the left. Now roll your right shoulder back and pull your shoulder down a little bit. And you'll feel some tight spots. And don't forget to keep pressing the back of the head into the roller. Kind of firmly but gently. You don't want any pain. And then come back up to center. Now press your head firmly into the roller and just roll to the right a little bit and go really slow. Then to the left. And let's do that one more time each way. Side and side. And then come back to center. Pause here. Take a breath. Relax your shoulders. And then carefully come off the roller. Come on up to a seated position. Pause here and just notice how grounded you feel. It really is kind of that similar feeling you have after a deep tissue massage, but much shorter amount of time spent on getting to this point. So do an easy twist, turn to the side, and then turn to the other side, easy. And come back to center. Come to standing position. Take your time. Up, 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 up. And just take your arms overhead. Wiggle your fingers. And then bring the arms all the way down. Hands on the hips. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Good work, you guys. So that gives you a few exercises to do at home with your foam roller. Again, makes a great warm-up before you head out into the day, or also makes a great cool down. Or if you have an old injury that's kind of acting up, this is a great way to kind of take care of that injury. So I'll see you guys again. And again, we're here at the Senior Center in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We are reminding people that we are a nonprofit. So if you're using and enjoying our classes throughout our sheltering period of time and you want to make a donation, feel free to do that. Check us out on our website, Senior Center of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Thanks.